Welcome to another episode of Raven Conversations. I'm Joe Seamandel, the State Public Affairs Officer for the Washington National Guard. And today I'm joined by Chris Acuña. I was going to say Major Chris Acuña. It's technically his title. He's the Commandant of Cadets at the Washington Youth Challenge Academy up in Bremerton. So underneath the Washington Military Department, you have the National Guard, Emergency Management, which we've already talked about. And now we're talking about the Youth Challenge Academy as another part of it. And Chris is here to talk about the program, some of the success stories, and really how can parents and kids find out. Hey, thanks for joining us, Chris.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So real quick question, I think, for everybody, before we get into your introduction, they're probably interested. What is the Youth Challenge Academy?
That's a great question. The Youth Challenge Academy is a intervention program for teenagers in the state of Washington to improve their academic potential, employment potential, learn some life skills, gain some confidence and self-discipline, and go on to become responsible, productive citizens in the state.
Yeah. So kind of your background, and how did you find out about the academy?
It seems like a long time ago now, but my background, I was in the military, and when I got out, I really enjoyed coaching in youth sports, and I wanted to continue doing that and reach more young people. I found that was my passion. My mother and my grandmother were teachers, so it's kind of in my blood, and I really wanted to do more of that. So I looked for opportunities along those lines, and fate brought me to the Youth Academy in 2009.
Yeah, so you were there kind of right as it was opening.
I was there for the very first cycle. Yeah.
Oh, very awesome. So kind of describe that first cycle for everybody.
Wow. It was an eye-opening experience for sure. We were learning our way, but right away I felt really at home. It's not coaching sports, but it's coaching life. And so, we at the Academy get a chance to try to inspire self-correcting, self-reliant behavior through right relationships. I mean, that's really at the heart of what we do.
Yeah. So kind of describe that mission that the Youth Academy has. It's a fantastic place. I think I've been going up there since 2013. Always love seeing the cadets, and as they walk through, and you can see them from day one to graduation day, the change. Kind of describe that mission.
Well, our job is to provide a highly disciplined, highly structured, safe learning environment to empower our young people to learn these skills. They learn about leadership. They learn about physical fitness. There are 8 core component areas, actually: health and hygiene, service to the community, responsible citizenship, and, of course, academic excellence, to name most of them. They are invited to explore their capabilities safely, having successes and failures, and then, of course, we remove a lot of those distractions that don't really help them stay focused. That's where we really find that ability to provide traction with them. So they have all kinds of challenges coming to us, and the one thing in common is that they're behind in high school credits.
Yeah.
So we take away those distractions and let them focus, and the results, speak for themselves.
Yeah. So you mentioned the high school credits. That's a huge piece. How many credits can kids earn when they're at the academy?
Youth Academy cadets can earn up to 8 high school credits during the residential phase.
Yeah. So if they're in danger of, failing in regular high school, and they're short a few credits, they can come to the academy and actually pick up those credits while learning life skills.
Absolutely. They have to do high school work. I mean, the unique thing about the Youth Challenge program is that the cadets have to earn an opportunity. They have to compete. They have to show a willingness. They have to volunteer for the program. So right there is what I think it makes it unique and different from a typical high school where they have to go to high school. And that's still true, but at the Youth Academy, they have to earn the right to be invited, and then they have to earn the right to stay. And everything that they get from the program is willingly applied and learned through repetition. It's awesome.
Yeah, so you guys are currently going through a new cycle starting here soon. Kind kind of just quickly describe what those first few days look like.
Sure. Well, the first 2 weeks of the program is what we call the acclimation phase, and that's where we bring them in and orient them to the regimental lifestyle, right? So again, they're getting up early, they're doing physical fitness on a daily basis, they're learning how to march, learning how to work as a team, learning how to work with other people that they don't know and contribute to the greater good of a team. So that fellowship and that team-oriented mindset is just really powerful. And it's a human business that we're in. So sometimes it gets a little messy. You know, we're trying to work through resolving conflict and finding common ground and overcoming challenges together and contributing what we do well to the team, because sometimes we need to borrow from somebody else's expertise to help us get where we need to go.
Yeah. So after those first 2 weeks, then they go into really the 20-week residential phase.
Yep.
That takes them all the way through graduation. So what are some of the things they're going to hit during that 20 weeks that's going to that challenges those cadets?
Right. Well, and we try to set the bar higher each time they achieve a milestone. So their schooling begins in week 3, and until they learn new habits, they tend to apply some of the habits that led to them being behind in school in the first place. And then they quickly learn that we make doing the work and earning the fun time a priority. Do the work first and earn the privileges later. And then we try to work on helping identify strengths in each other, right? And it starts with us helping to intervene and role model what right looks like and making the things that matter, the details, and focusing on something to its end and completion a priority until they begin to do that for themselves. As the program moves on in the cycle, they begin to lead themselves more, and our role changes, right? We move from more of a total control to a guiding, coaching, mentoring role. Again, sometimes we need to reset them, and then as their abilities grow, we're able to teach them more things and expect more of them.
Yeah, so then after graduation, it's post-residency.
That's right.
For a year, correct?
2 years now.
2 years now.
Yes, we are one of the programs across the country who is piloting a 24-month post-residential phase. And really, that's such a critical component to the Youth Challenge program's model. We're giving them the foundation and the skills and the confidence to get back on track. And then we measure the success of the program's residential phase in what they do with those skills in the post-residential phase. And we teach them the importance of goal setting, and we help them develop a plan of action and to identify mentors and people who are advocates for them, who are going to help them achieve their goals. And associating with people at or above their ability levels in all areas so that they can grow as human beings.
Yeah, so you mentioned the success of the program. It all comes down to really the cadets and their success.
You bet.
So what are some of those success stories or those successful things that have happened look like for you guys?
Yeah, I have so many. It's really interesting because I tell a story to the cadets in terms of their journey, and then I give them an analogy that's like forging a sword, and they have the ability to forge themselves into exactly what they want to be in their imagined futures. Mm-hmm. And so in the beginning of that journey, it starts with a lot of hammering and a lot of difficult, challenging, heated up kind of environment, and then they take shape and then begin to work on the long process of sharpening themselves into the best versions of themselves, and then finally putting the finishing touches on themselves, polishing, telling their story. And then they go out and it's awesome. I mean, they go back, they graduate high school, they fulfill their goals, and sometimes it takes a little time and they have to adjust, but they're more prepared to deal with the challenges that life brings their way. Some of them go on to the military, but the majority of our cadets go back to high school. The program is not geared toward military entrance. They have to go back and finish high school. If they want to be in the military, they pursue that. Some of them want to go back to go to college or learn a trade. They go do that. Some of them want to be in law enforcement or be in the Peace Corps. Or, and in fact, I've got cadre members that were graduates many years ago now. So I think that's probably the most telling example of the quality of the relationships that we form with our cadets, is that they want to come back and give back for the gift they've been given.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned the fact that it's not a military entrance program. It is literally just a making these kids' lives better program.
Absolutely. And we can all attest to the benefits of regimental training and structure and discipline and doing something over and over again until you no longer get it wrong. And also the freedom that discipline provides, right? You get a chance to open your mind up to the things that you really want to work on, because you don't have to think about how many minutes it takes me to get ready, or when breakfast or lunch is, or what I have to wear today.
Yep.
I know I can get those things done automatically. I know I'm going to put the work first. I know that I want to enjoy my personal time, and so I'm going to be prepared. So that's really the benefits of this structure. But it's really not about the military. The military is one of many possible career opportunities as part of the job skills core component. And our job is to both open their minds up to what's out there, but also to help them understand that thinking about your future is really important. And I'm sorry to say that this day and age, our young people spend less and less time daydreaming in that way. Daydreaming is not a bad thing. It's good to imagine another version of your reality, another possible, more hopeful, better future for yourself. But you got to know what you want.
Yeah. I always say about the program, if it existed when I was in high school, I would have known a number of kids that I went to high school with, that kind of just, they trickled off by their sophomore year and they never came back. And you always wonder what happened to that person. And I think it's a fantastic program. I think the biggest question is always, how do parents find out, right? If there's a parent watching this video and saying, man, my kid is struggling in school, how do they find out? How do they take the steps to help their daughter or son?
Sure. Well, we've got over 3,000 graduates by now, and so that word of mouth is really powerful. And we have many advocates out there throughout the state at schools who are operating as school principals, teachers, and counselors. We have a really highly capable outreach and admissions team who bring presentations and take it on the road to these various schools and tell our story and our mission, and really look to gain support from the schools to send the kids that are struggling our way. We also, try to put the message out on, in digital format on social media, and we've got YouTube videos, and we've got ads out there on the various platforms, hopefully reaching more people than ever before. We really want to increase the inbound activity level, right? There's an application process. As I said, it was a competitive process for the kids, and it takes time. There's only so many spots, so we really want to make sure the opportunities out there, and more importantly, we want to make sure the opportunity is available to as many young people. Our program in Bremerton only has space for 165
total
cadets each cycle, and we have 2 cycles a year. And so it'd be great if we had capacity to serve more who really need our program.
And I think the program, it speaks highly of the fact that, yes, it is so small, but the graduation rate is so high compared to other programs, and what you guys do is phenomenal. Anything else you want to throw out there to the audience?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Our graduation rate is impressive. It's consistently at the top of the performance throughout the country in the Youth Challenge program, and that means that those graduates go back home and finish high school successfully, and were it not for our intervention in their lives, the likelihood of them graduating high school on time or at all is much, much lower. So I'm super proud of that. I just love this program.
Anything else you want to throw out the program out there?
Happy to be here. And
I appreciate you coming on. If you're interested in learning more about the Youth Academy, the Washington Youth Challenge Academy, we can definitely put the information in the notes. If you like the video, give it a like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you're really interested in the program, leave us a comment, and we'll ensure that it gets down to the folks in Bremerton. Chris, I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks very much.